This episode of The Direction is brought to you by Georgia 811, keeping Georgia safe and connected.
I thought you said you hadn't done this before.
I did. You told me to paddle.
We're headed to Lake Lanier, Georgia to go catch some big old spotted bass.
So at 20 years old, you had an injury, and at 30 years old, you were...
I was in Atlanta at Lake Lanier racing in the Olympic Games.
Well, now you're coming over to my world because we're going to utilize a fishing rod today.
Fishing is nice and relaxing, you know. My heart rate has gone down like 50 beats a minute. It's not like driving on the 405 freeway out in Los Angeles here.
Well, we've got the new 811 bass boat all done up, this Ranger 521. I'm ready to get it in the water. This will be the first time we've used it. We're headed to Lake Lanier, Georgia to go catch some big old spotted bass. I gotta get this motor cow put on and we're gonna head out. They tell me it's bite at Lanier is a lot of these fish are on the docks. They've been throwing shaky heads around them docks. So I'm gonna take a little jig with me and a few other kind of small baits to try to entice these fish to bite them. I got this new Attack Series spinning rod. We're gonna hook up with some of them big spotted bass and oh baby. I haven't actually been on Lake Lanier. It's a big reservoir, popular destination, and looking forward to getting to fishing. We're going to be meeting up with Cliff Meidl. Cliff's going to be fishing with us tomorrow along with Matt Ledbetter. We ought to have a great time out there. Cliff is a actual US Olympian, road kayaking in the Olympics down here at Lake Lanier when the Olympics were here. So we're going to be looking forward to hearing Cliff's stories tomorrow, and I think we're going to need to give him a paddle and let him paddle his boat around for us. It's going to be a short night and an early morning. Cliff, he's already asleep. We're going to take us a quick nap and we're going to be ready to catch some spots in the morning. Good morning, sir.
What's happening?
Nothing, how are you?
Good.
You ready to play out here in this cold?
Yeah. It's freezing, huh?
Well, we're going to go up the road here and we're going to go meet Matt.
Okay.
And Matt's from here in Georgia. So he knows quite a bit about Lake Lanier.
All right.
We're going to meet with him, eat some breakfast, and we're going to get you on the water.
All right, this is going to be a fun day.
We had to stop and get a little breakfast. It was fun catching up with everybody, but it's time to get started fishing. All right, Cliff, we're going to unbuckle this boat, get ready to put this thing in the water. Here's some waters that you've definitely been on. Probably with a paddle in your hand.
Yep, not a fishing rod, but yeah, a paddle.
Well, now you're coming over to my world because we're going to utilize a fishing rod. I've got my Denali Covert light rod out here. This is their finesse jig rod. This is a 7.2 rod. It's a medium action. I'm going to be pitching my stupid tube on it. Look, coming across the lake right here. Cliff, this is something you can relate to first-handedly.
Yep, this is rowing right here. These guys go backwards. The difference between the rowers and the paddlers, and that's the dynamics of the sport is, you know, obviously they're experiencing almost the same thing. Quiet serenity, beautiful landscape here, being able to be out on the lake and doing what you love, more importantly, right? Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. We couldn't wait to get this Ranger boat in the water, and I can't wait to see how Lake Lanier is going to treat us. This segment was brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure. Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
If you live anywhere in this area and you're shopping for a pontoon or bass boat, meet the Marine and Outdoor Superstore at Renegade Marine in Litchfield. Nobody has a larger selection of pontoon boats, bass boats, and aluminum boats, and all the accessories and goodies you want than Renegade Marine in Litchfield. Visit or call the Marine and Outdoor Superstore at Renegade Marine in Litchfield. Renegade. We want to see you on the water with a smile.
Louisiana One Call and The Direction want to remind you that whether you're planting a tree, building a fence, or just making improvements around your farm or home, click or call before you start your work to get the area marked. Then dig safely and avoid contact with buried utilities. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones. Know what's below. Call before you dig. For more information, visit us online at la1call.com.
This segment is brought to you by Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure. All right, well, guys, I don't know about y'all, but what a beautiful day to get out here on the water. I got Matt Ledbetter here. I got Cliff Meidl. And Cliff, it's an awesome opportunity for me and Matt to be able to get in the boat with you. Of course, you've got 2 times Olympic experience there and competing in kayaking, and we're going to see how you handle this rod and reel today. And we're going to put him over in our venue now.
In our world.
At large.
After a quick little run down the lake of breaking this new Ranger in, we were at the first spot that Matt wanted to try. Pulled up on the first spot here. We're fishing some water coming in the lake here, hoping some of these spots pile up in here. Hoping we're gonna start catching them quick. Hey, you just wanna go on down these banks, or you just kind of...
I got a fish, guys.
Look at this, he does. Cliff, look at this.
I told you.
So you put this in the boat now, come on up with it. There you go. Look at Cliff. Comes out here. Now, wait a minute. I thought you said you hadn't done this before.
I did. You told me to paddle. And I was... All righty. That's a good size, huh?
Absolutely. Look at that little spot right there.
All right.
Cliff, that's
pretty cool.
a spotted bass there. That's
Alrighty.
what Lake Lanier is known for. See that? How their eyes are kind of reddish.
Right.
Of course, they're a good thick fish. You know, their little bodies are like little footballs, but. Lake Lanier.
That's awesome.
You've been out here rowing.
Right.
Now you're out here catching the fish. And you're starting this show off right.
I like this. A little bit different of a ball game here. But
there you go. Hold it tight.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, huh? All righty, Lake Lanier, way to go.
Cliff, you basically came probably, how many miles is it over here to Georgia, do you know?
Yeah, about almost 2,000 miles.
So basically, you know, what an opportunity. I mean, a guy that can get on a plane, go fly 2,000 miles across the country and get to go out for work fishing. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm blessed, so I'm very stoked.
You know, actually, me and you have a neat tie-in together. You know, we both have the opportunity to ambassador a message about the 811, the call before you dig message.
The most important part of it is being able to spread the awareness, like you had mentioned. But I think for me, it kind of happened when I was a young little kid. You know, I was very ambitious, like a lot of kids are, and I was working out on a construction site, and so I was an apprentice plumber at the time. And I was when I was working out on the job site, I was operating a jackhammer, and I ended up drilling into these power lines. And that were underneath the ground. And that's kind of how it bodes into my message today about how important it is to really spread that awareness on damage prevention. My message is really to the, to the boots on the ground. Those workers that are out there, whether they're, landscapers, electricians, excavators, or whatever it may be, that how important it is for us to always be safe out on the job site. And, it's I always like to say it's a culture, we spend a lot of our lives going out there and really going out there working, trying to be the best that we can be. And it's important to be safe out on the job site at all times.
That's what's nice about these 521s. Man, they got so much room on the front deck, you can just stand 3 guys up here. There we go, boys.
Did you get one? Oh, look at that. All right.
There we go, little old spot here. Come on in the boat, jumping. Having a little fun there. Good old stupid tube, folks. All right, Cliff. There's another spot.
There's
man.
another guy.
We're putting a few of them in the boat. Good old spots, way to get us started, gets us off the board. We're gonna keep on putting some of these in the boat, gentlemen.
I was telling Mark, this is nice, fishing is nice and relaxing, My heart rate has gone down like 50 beats a minute. It's not like driving on the 405 freeway out in Los Angeles here.
Right there.
Fish on it.
There we go.
There he goes right there.
Yeah, he's on the move.
There you go.
Come here, baby. Come on in the boat. There's what we're looking for. Look at that. Ain't nothing more fun than catching them spotted bass. Look at that. Boy, they eating that tube up. That's what we're here for.
That's one's huge.
Right there,
huh?
Cliff.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Getting a little better.
They get a little
All right.
better. Wait till we catch one of these giant ones, then you're gonna know what a big one is. These still babies right here. We're gonna catch them big ones. All right, Cliff, here's your secret spot here.
Yeah, this is it.
Cliff, I don't know if you caught this or not, but you notice Matt brought you in at the angle to fish this area second this time.
Uh-huh.
He didn't bring you in here you can make a first cast back in here because he didn't want you to catch that fish right there. Oh, I let him come on. Daggone it. I thought I was going to be mouthy right there. So at 20 years old, you had an injury, and at 30 years old, you were...
I was in Atlanta at Lake Lanier racing in the Olympic Games. Yeah.
Wow. What a change of mindset in a 10-year frame, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. If you were to ask...
From here to here,
Yeah, when I was in the hospital at the time, if you were going to say, hey, Cliff, you're going to one of these days walk again, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy, right? And then let alone saying that I'd be able to compete in the Olympic Games, I would have told you, you're talking to the wrong guy.
This segment is brought to you by Denali Rods. Tournament tested, tournament tough. We were having a great day so far. We had a couple fish in the boat and we're excited to see what the rest of the day was going to bring. Look at here, got a little fish on here on the side of that dock right there. See, he saw that canoe and said, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, he goes, look
we're
at
going to
that.
go up and visit with Cliff. Another Lanier spot
Yeah, that's
there.
pretty. Look at that.
I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing more fun than grabbing a rod and reel, peace and quiet out here, and just enjoying each other's company. Look at this. Look at Cliff right there. Got another one.
Yeah.
This is pulling a little bit here, Cliff.
Come here. Yeah, this thing is, dude, this guy's giving me a...
There we go.
Whoa.
Look at him.
There we go, look at that. That's a nice size.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Cliff Meidl, Lake Lanier, putting a spotted bass in the boat.
Number 2. All right, here we go.
Oh, awesome
Yes.
stuff. Cliff had not had a chance to do much fishing in the past, so it was really cool to see him having a blast out here on the lake. Pick that bait up, team. There he is. Yeah, I said he's a meathead, and look. Now he's a better one than all of them. There he comes. Come here, buddy. Come up there and dance a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big guy, huh?
There you go. Jump around there, have a little fun. Now, come on in the boat. He sat there and beat that tube up just sitting on the bottom. Another nice spot.
All right. Looking good.
That's what we do to these fish.
Cliff, I want to know what was your favorite part about the Olympics?
Well, I went to 2 games.
Yeah.
One was in Atlanta and one was Sydney. It was, you know, both of them had their benefits, but I think that the best part for me was being in Atlanta because it was on home turf at Lake Lanier here, and but it was a whole opening ceremony experience. 200,000 screaming Americans chanting USA. You know, the hair was standing up on the back of my neck, and I was so proud. But I had one of the most incredible honors. I was able to carry the American flag in the opening ceremonies in Sydney.
Wow.
And that was pretty amazing, yeah. I remember there I was so nervous because I was holding the pole, and for me, I was just so happy and so, you know, honored not only to be American, but be able to represent our country at the time.
Look going down the lake right here.
Yeah, we've got a regatta going.
You definitely got memories of all of that, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, not in that 8-man boat or anything.
Nope, but I do remember racing very well.
Degrees out. Oh, look at Cliff.
Alrighty.
Now, there you go. Cliff,
Oh,
you
it's a tiny one.
Hey, it's a fish. It's still fun.
Number 3, small guy, but it's a fish.
Absolutely. Hey, they're all fun to reel in. I don't care what anybody says. Well, Matt, it's been a fun day on Lanier here. We've had the great opportunity of having Cliff Meidl here in the boat with us. And Cliff, I want to just tell you, I appreciate you coming out here and spending the day with us. We both have a vested interest in letting people know the importance of 811 and call them before they dig. And we also have a good time out here catching some fish.
Right, well, thank you guys very much, Mark and Matt, for all your expertise, teaching me how to fish. I had an incredible time, and I always enjoy coming out here to Lake Lanier, Georgia. It's a very, very nice place in my heart. Thank you guys very much.
Nebraska 811 and the Direction want to remind you that whether you're planting a tree, building a fence, or just making improvements around your farm or home, click or call before you start your work to get the area marked. Then dig safely and avoid contact with buried utilities. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones. Know what's below. Call before you dig. For more information, visit us online at ne1call.com.
For 50 years, Ranger has led the way in innovative, high-performance designs, and we're raising the bar again with a bold new flagship line, the Ranger Z Comanche L Series. These rigs are custom crafted with a passion for perfection and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver domination at every level. The next generation Ranger L Series. Celebrate a legacy 50 years in the making.
Now it's time for your safe digging moment of the week, brought to you by 811. Always remember to call before you dig. This week's 811 moment of the week has to be Cliff Meidl catching the first fish.
I got a fish, guys.
Look at this, he does. Cliff, look at this. I thought you said you hadn't done this before.
I did. You told me to paddle.
Cliff has never bass fished, and what's he do? He throws out, puts the first fish in the boat. Folks, that's Olympic talent, even with a rod and reel. Our first day on Lake Lanier was awesome. Unfortunately, Cliff had to head back to California. So Matt and I, we headed out to try to catch some of those fish that we didn't catch yesterday. And now you ain't allowed to say that. They must be here. Oh, which bait do I want to play with this morning is a bad question. Oh, I just think I got to play with my jig for a minute or two. There it is, deep, baby. Down there deep. There we go. We might have a decent one here. Oh, yeah. That stupid tube down there deep, son. Look at that big old spot way down there. There you go. What we like to see right there. Come here, buddy. Come here, you're hooked in the mouth. Look at that. That's what we're out here looking for.
Yeah.
And bigger.
A little better fish.
A little fatter. Growed up one a little bit. You know, grow all the way up. Fish for about 30 foot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the depth. We were in about 25.
We need a bunch of these.
Yes, we do.
Bunches. Matt, that fish was deep, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the boat was sitting at about 25 and 24, 25.
What, there?
And you made, yeah, and you had made the cast. You had made, well, where the fish came from, the boat was sitting at when you made the cast. So I was saying, when you made the cast, we were sitting about 24, 25, so you threw out about 30, 33.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we probably ought to get over where he's at and just throw up here.
Yeah.
Way over there. Fish was down there. Well, I was using my stupid tube. 8th ounce head, about 30 foot of water, down deep, baby. There you go. Oh, there, up, come on. Get it, get it, get it. He's in that brush pile. There you go. There it is, look. On top of it now. There he come back. I'm gonna say, buddy, you ain't gonna keep monkeying with me too long. I'm gonna stick a hook in you. There. See, I started talking about Cliff. You see what happens, Cliff?
Just talk about
Superpowers.
Just talk about Cliff.
His Olympic powers made that happen. Little fella, he come from down deep in a treetop right there. Spotted bass, Lake Lanier. Don't get no more fun than that. They're a little tough today, still having fun. It was getting on up in the day, and with the temperatures dropping and work to do back home, the fishing was getting ready to wrap up, but we still had time for a couple more fish.
It's a love-hate relationship. I have a love-hate relationship with this lake.
Oh, whoa, whoa, look at this giant brush pile. Look at it, see it?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Direction is brought to you by 811. Know what's below, call before you dig. We would also like to thank these fine partners. Closed captioning is brought to you by Vectren. Live smart.